welcome back to Perseverance Pastures. It's definitely been a minute. I believe I stopped vlogging in November. Honestly, winter Victoria is not the same as spring, summer, and fall Victoria. So honestly, I was pretty tired from all the summer things we'd been doing. I decided to just take a break and kick things off this spring again with kind of a farm update over what we've done over this winter. There just wasn't much going on in general anyways. I didn't want to just post what little we did. We did a lot, but nothing that was all that exciting. One of the main things we did this winter was we slowly tackled this big pile of brush that we had in our pasture. This spring, we are not getting any true large livestock, which is kind of a bummer, but it's I think for the best. So we took care of, there's this massive brush pile right here, and part of it's still right there. It was kind of two. That one just was a smaller one, but we took care of this one and we burned it. We actually split it up into smaller ones and then slowly been doing barrel fires. We debated doing a larger bonfire, but it's mostly just a matter of, we just took it nice and easy this winter, and it was kind of nice. In the mornings we'd have coffee and just start a barrel fire, process wood and burn through it. We also almost fell in a hole. Yep, almost fell in a hole again. We are slowly clearing our forest. I'm really excited. I'm gonna take you to another spot that's over by our pond that's very well cleared out, that we'll keep working on. But we also, I'm just gonna show you one area kind of from up top. It goes down kind of to a little valley. I don't know if it's considered a valley though. But we had a huge fallen tree right there. My husband has been processing that. So we got some pretty good wood to split, and we have a lot more in the shed, which is where I'm going to be taking you now to show you all the updates that we've done to the shed. I'm so excited about it. Okay, we are going to have our shed reveal of all the updates. It's the exact same. I had a lot bigger plans of tackling this winter, but to be honest, we stayed pretty busy throughout the winter, but once November, December hit, we were just so busy with family and friends and honestly taking a break where I kept wanting to get out here, but it was good to have time off of it. And we also were able to reprioritize and think things through in regards of what we wanted out of this shed, because there's so much potential that it just, we don't want to back ourselves into a corner in regards of oh, we put X amount of dollars into it this year, so we have to keep pursuing this because we already have so much invested. So this was going to be the drying shed. It still will be at some capacity. However, we are going to just reevaluate things and pursue on getting this where it's a better of a blank slate, as in we're going to fix the holes in the floor and kind of beef those up. We are going to, I don't know if we're going to get the flooring poured. There's discussion over us doing it and hiring someone. It's just a matter of, there's only so much time and money, and so it's a matter of figuring out what resources we want to throw at this. Is it going to be our time, or is it going to be us paying someone for their time? Because it's going to be, yes, there's a lot of discussion still around the shed, but we are going to be pursuing this more this spring, and I do plan on giving updates on how this goes, because I enjoy making these videos and kind of showing the progression. As you can see, the shelf is still there where it originally fell. I definitely tried to drag it out, but I was yeah, that's too heavy for just me. Here's some wood that my husband processed that we're storing in here, and we have plans of getting it out, but during the winter I was well, it's a good place to put it. So that is the update with the shed. We do still plan on having an herbal business, or at least that is my goal still. However, there's so many things I want to pursue. It's now a matter of me really deciding. So we're going to take this year and I'm still growing a lot of herbs. It's just a matter of trying it from a perspective of what do I enjoy growing, not what are all the things I can grow to put into one product, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's the shed update. Now we're gonna take you to what's like the most exciting thing that we did periodically through this winter, which is clearing down by our pond. So let's head over there. All right, we are down by the pond. As you can see, I actually now have algae bloom that was not here last year. However, we did not move to our property until June, where it was just covered with duckweed. I haven't started the muck away process or treatment yet, just because we're still getting into nights that are below 50 degrees. And so the pond, it's what a pond looks like, I guess. There's really no update with that itself. I still want to get some pond plants to start helping. However, I have this romanticized idea that we are getting geese and ducks this spring. They're actually on their way in a couple weeks. My hope is when we have all the duckweed come up this year and all the plants, that I have this romantic idea that I'm going to be able to lead the ducks and geese down here, let them spend a day in the pond, and then call them up in the evening to be like, okay, let's go home. And then they'll follow me back to their pen, which I understand, like getting them down here will probably be pretty easy. Getting them back up, not so much. We'll see how it goes. I have faith that this is going to work out. But there's a chance it might. We'll see. I just love the idea of just leading them down, and then like they have this huge pond. It's not that big, but for a duck, I'm sure it's pretty big. So we'll see what happens. We might end up where our ducks just live down here and our geese, but who knows. The other part of our pond, originally we wanted to clear directly around the pond. That just hasn't happened. We've kind of started focusing on the forest area itself. Here is that. This area on back was covered completely with this underbrush, all of it. We've now cleared it. We have a lot of brush up there that we've like started throwing. We had a barrel fire down here, like throwing the brush in, but we also have been down here clearing and just making piles that we'll burn later or do something with. But we can now walk down through here. We have picked out the livestock we're going to be getting next spring. However, I'm not going to say what it is. I'm not going to say what it is yet because so many things can happen from now until then, and I don't want to jinx it or whatever. But we're clearing down here in the forest because honestly, like, it's not that difficult here in the winter. I'm getting orchard grass to plant down here. If anybody has ever done something like this, let me know what kind of grass you used. I found a company that has orchard grass that also has like a good healthy mixture of like some other things like legumes and stuff that don't need as much sun, that will be good for grazing. I just really want this area cleared so we can hopefully next spring have an area that the livestock can graze during the heat of the summer. And then we're just also removing some trees. Like, I don't know, I mean, you can see what I see, but there's so many trees that are competing, so I don't know if they're necessarily healthy. Like this little guy, like right here, there's 1, 2, 3 trees within like 12 square feet. So we're gonna remove a couple of them while they're still young, and that'll just leave or let more sunlight through, where it'll allow the grass to grow thicker and just be healthier, and as well as just give us nice ground cover. Because even in the summer, like with all this underbrush, there was no grass. It was just these little trees, which I've looked them up, like the different varieties. I think there's 2 invasive ones that we have down here. They don't really do anything. They're just invasive. So I'm like, if we can get grass and maybe some wildflowers growing down here, I think it'll just be healthier in general. So that's been really fun for us cleaning this summer, or this this winter, like cleaning up. It was a good project, especially like we're kind of down here, like I said, kind of like a valley. I don't think it's considered an actual valley though. So when it was really windy, like we couldn't even tell. So there was one day, gosh, I think it was like 30 degrees, like up like in our backyard with wind chill, but down here it felt like 40. We had like a barrel fire going, and we were like in t-shirts, just fine. Like it wasn't too cold or anything, so we definitely felt a little crazy, but it was it felt so good to be outside and just working on something and seeing actual progression happen. Because sometimes when, I don't know, I'm sure other people feel like this, when you have like 1,000 things you want to do and you know all of the things, but yet you can only do like 2, it's really difficult not to get kind of downtrodden and disgruntled by how slow things are going. But this felt like, oh wow, we probably have like 1,000 square feet down here that's now open that we can plant grass and just walk down here. And we're realizing like our forest, even though there's like this slope and stuff, is still really has the potential to be like really good, like grazing. So I'm gonna sign off here because that's pretty much all we've done. We've worked on just clearing our forest, getting rid of a huge brush pile, which opened up more of our pasture. And very little work was done to our shed, but that has been in the back of my mind, or our mind. We did a few other things, but they were mostly on our house, which I don't plan on showing. So farm-wise, those are our updates, and I have a ton more videos planned for this spring and summer for you guys. I hope you enjoy watching the journey of us like working on our farm. So we will see you next week. Bye.